Konnichiwa, Nagi-san here again, and today we're looking at Midway's Vegas motherboard, or the Vegas 77 down there. This is actually sort of not the actual name. The motherboard and the I/O board over there are different. Yes, that's an I/O board. That's why it's called a CO board, which is Sound I/O board. This is actually a Durango motherboard, I believe. I'm not entirely certain if that's true or not, but I believe that's the case because this is a more updated CPU. I'm running these without a fan and they're getting hot. I really shouldn't be doing that, but my mistake. Anyway, you can see that Gauntlet's booted up, Gauntlet Dark Legacy, and you see I'm using this FlexiScan L365 monitor. There's a reason I'm using this monitor. That's because it's got a weird mode on it. This is a DVI and VGA screen. It's what, 14 inches across. It can only do what is it, 1024 by 768, I believe it's max resolution, which is crap nowadays. However, it's got a very interesting mode, and it's hinted by the fact it says FlexScan, which means it can do 24K graphics. And I was just testing this out because the specs of it can do 24K graphics, but the VPP of the RGB lines is about 0.7 volts, which is pretty much RGB spec, you know, for like this or Time Crisis or any JBS motherboard like that Naomi over there. And yeah, that's on a cardboard, so don't kill me. But the TTL, the sync is 5-volt TTL logic, but it's horizontal and vertical only, so separate sync essentially. And I was testing around to see if it would actually work for arcade purposes, and basically the only board I have that is separate sync is Gauntlet if you don't use the jammer connector, because what happens on the Gauntlet is if you use the little cable here, this is the this is the little bridge cable, or what's otherwise known as the Voodoo pass-through cable. This connects into your graphics card and to your motherboard, and that's exactly what you do. You just put the motherboard, you put the cable here and onto there, go through the board, through into the CO board, and convert it into composite sync. And I apologise for this, the light on this camera is because I have no light in my room. So anyway, I was testing it out, and you can see quite nice. It's quite nice graphics over here. Quite a good picture as well. And I know LCDs aren't particularly supported, but the only LCD monitors the only monitors I have is my TV over here, which is 15K only, and my PC monitor here, which is 31K only. So, you know, I wanted to see if this would work. So if we turn it off, because that was in 31K mode, and we go down to here and flip, because to get it into 24K mode, bloody hell, that heatsink got hot. Dip switch 1 and 2 on the U12 section. If you flip dip switch 2 down, you get into 24K mode. I'm not sure what happens if you... Actually, shall we see what happens if you flick dip switch 1 down and 2 up? Because I'm not sure. It might just glitch out and not work. So let's turn this on. And the monitor is connected up to the power supply's AC, just because it's convenient for me. Let's see what happens, because I've never done this before. Maybe it just boots straight into... yeah, it just seems to have gone straight into VGA mode. Huh. Yeah, it's just going straight into VGA mode by the looks of things. You can usually tell when it gets into the game. Yeah, whoa, that's fast. I'm not sure. I think that's VGA mode. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's not my point. Let's go and get it into 24K mode. So 2 down, 1 up, and turn it on again. Like I say, you really should put a fan here. I'm not going to bother because getting a fan and recording it is just... well, basically I can't be bothered. There you go. This is in 24K mode. You won't notice a difference till it goes in game. In fact, I can already see differences now, but you won't be able to. And I know it's 24 because it's not smaller text at the top there. Okay. You see how nice it looks now? If I go and zoom in a bit, and can you see that sort of jail bar thing going on? And I know that's the graphics card, because when a Voodoo card fails, that these things do a sort of a there you go, you might be able to see it on the mace. It does a sort of a jail bar like thing, and it just happens all the time. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I'm not sure if that's the monitor or not, because that's, like I say, a typical Voodoo sign, but it works fine in 31K mode, so I'm confused by that. But you know, the only other so I'm confused about that. But hey, this is in 24K mode and it's playing Gauntlet, and I can't, for some reason I can't adjust it. The auto adjust doesn't seem to work, nor does the menu. The only thing that seems to work are the volume keys and then the menu keys. Yeah, those bits, but they don't. Nothing else works. And the only other option is to go into DVI mode, which I don't want. So that's really strange. But hey, if you need a 24K monitor just for testing, try get one of these FlexiScan 365s, because they're quite nice. And I was wondering, can you still get those? FlexiScan L365. Oops, sorry. No, I don't think you can. But anyway, if you do find one, pick them up, because my boss has 2 of these, and I think my friend might be interested in one. But yeah, they're quite nice little monitors, and obviously they'll do 31K, so they'll do all your Naomi stuff and that, and also they'll do, like, presumably, Sega's Model 1, 2, 3 boards. So it's quite nice. And then, like say, you can use Sega Naomi. I could even use my Time Crisis to get ones on these boards, except for the fact that Time Crisis needs a CRT, just due to the fact of the game needing to see the scan lines, and obviously that doesn't happen with LCD. Anyway, thought I'd make a quick video on this. If anyone has any clue why it's doing that jail bar thing in 24K but not 31K, please let me know, because that's really curious. Like I say, maybe this card is bad. This isn't the original graphics card, by the way. This is a replacement. The original one that was in here was an Obsidian PCI Obsidian 2. I had to remove it because, well, let's face it, the graphics card was starting to fail. It was giving me, not graphic glitches, but sort of wasn't quite as clear. And again, doing the jail bar thing. And this is just a standard 3DFX graphics card. I think it's made by TechWorks, or maybe it's made by 3DFX themselves. And for the record, you can use any Voodoo 2 graphics card as long as it's got 12 meg of RAM or even 10 meg of RAM, and it's PCI and it's Voodoo 2. It'll work. It doesn't matter. There's no security chip on these at all, so don't worry about that. You just put in any card, and if it doesn't work, it will come up saying on the screen a little LED bar there, E2 or something like that. In fact, I'll show you that in a minute. Otherwise, it will boot fine, or should do. And it has to be a Voodoo 2. It can't be like a or Voodoo 2 compatible card. It can't be a can't be like Voodoo 3, Voodoo 1. It can't be Voodoo Banshee or anything. It has to be a Voodoo 2 for at least for Gauntlet. And I'll just show you what happens when you don't have a proper graphics card attached, or you've not got the right one. It'll go far up into test 9, and then when it gets to test 9, it'll just do this, which is sort of a UE error. So U3, which just means your graphics card's bad. So there you go, bit of info. So yeah, if anyone has a clue what's going on with that weird glitch, I would really be interested in knowing. Otherwise, you know, it works fine. And if you need a 24K monitor, just pick one of those up. Anyway, thank you for watching.